afternoon, everyone. My name is Chris Poplin, and I'm proud to serve as the chair of the Stanley County Community Foundation. I want to welcome and thank everyone for being here this afternoon. So 2 storms and 5 weeks later, we're all here. So thank you very much. I apologize for the delay, but I think it was worth it. So thank you all for being here. A little time delayed on that. The purpose of today's gathering is for us to recognize and celebrate all the important work that's done in the county by the nonprofits. The organizations here today that are being honored are the 2018 grantees of the Community Foundation. And we're very fortunate to have many of the local nonprofits represented, and we're proud to partner with all the good work that's done here in the county. Before we do the introductions of the grantees, I wanted to introduce the members of the board and talk a little bit about our county's Community Foundation and what all has been accomplished in its nearly 20-year existence. First, I'd like to thank the leaders who serve on the foundation board, and many of them are here today, and so when I call out your name, if you wouldn't mind, please stand up. Colleen Keith, our vice chair. Marshall Rogers, the immediate past chair. Dawn Allen. Raj Bradford. Paul Childress. Roger Dick. Leon Frederick. David Grigg. Bill Grigg. Jerry Jordan. John Louder. Judy Pierce. Art Rogers, Wayne Sasser, Ed Shimpock, and Mike Snyder. We're very grateful for all the service that you folks have put in to the organization. I'd also like to thank Stanley Community College for recording this event. It'll be aired on SCC TV, Channel 21. And also thank the Community College for its tremendous partnering for the many years. We certainly appreciate their continued support of this event and being here today. We also like to thank the Albemarle City Council for allowing us to use the facility here. They've been very gracious over the years, and we really appreciate that. And this whole event would not be possible without Kendall Tatar and Bridget Todd. Thank you for organizing all this. You're very kind with your time. To get us all organized, a little bit of history about the Community Foundation. It was started in 1999. The Stanley County Community Foundation has been committed to inspiring philanthropy and increasing charitable giving in our community. It was started by a small group of community-minded individuals who were the catalyst for our foundation's start. The lead gift came from Duke Energy Foundation in honor of its retiring president CEO, Bill Grigg. Bill has been a great supporter of the foundation's work, and I'm pleased to say that he continues as a board member today. Additionally, through the generosity of URA Capital, another fund was created so that even more dollars could be given out and awarded to the community. In 2016, we saw the creation of a new fund. This was the C.B. Crook Fund to recognize Mr. C.B. Crook, our first emeritus board member, who passed away in 2016. Many of you knew Mr. Crook, and we all fondly remember him and his contributions to our community, to Albemarle and to Stanley County. We're very fortunate here in the county to have a very strong tradition of philanthropy. You know, and I'm grateful for that generosity and the leadership of those who established the foundation in 1999, and I think, wow, what a legacy that was put in place at that time, almost 20 years ago. So today, the foundation is a philanthropic organization. There are 30 affiliated charitable funds with the foundation. It has a total of almost $11.5 million in assets. And through the summer of 2018, they've given away $675,000 have been granted to those affiliated funds that support nonprofits, churches, colleges, educational institution. This is just a remarkable note of generosity by those fund holders that are here in Stanley County. In 2017, about $1.4 million was granted through those affiliated funds through the nonprofit agencies here in Stanley County. And we're very proud of the impact that those grants have on the community. And now for 2018, there's some pretty good news to share today. Our grants that the foundation is awarding is over $65,000, and this is the largest awarding that the foundation has made. It represents an increase of over 100% from what it was just 2 years ago. And this increase is due to two primary drivers for that. First, it was the CB Crook Fund. This allowed us to award almost $10,000 this year that we would not have otherwise. That is an endowed fund, and so those funds will be there in perpetuity, and so we'll be able to continue to make that level of grants with those the $10,000 that came off of that fund into the future. The second was a new partnership with the Foundation for the Carolinas. With our foundation, it was called Give, Grant, Grow. And under that, the foundation matches contributions from the current board members as well as former board members. And so with that, the board stepped it up this year, and between the board, the current board, and the former members, there was an additional $18,000 that were available to be awarded out this year. And with the foundation's match, exceeded $25,000. So between the Foundation for the Carolinas and our community foundation, we have those extra dollars to award here. As the board, our community, we know that the community needs are great in the area, and we're excited about this opportunity to work with the foundation to expand the dollars that we have available. And we say this, I think, probably every year. We say it that this is our favorite event of the year, and it really is. It really indeed is our favorite event that happens throughout the year. The opportunity to hear from the nonprofit organizations, the volunteers, the folks who work there for the great work that's done. But it's important to hear about that work that's happening here, and you are the ones that make the community better for the service that you provide, and we're honored to have you here today. At this time, I'd like to introduce Art Rogers, who is the chair of our grant committee.
Thank you, Chris. It's a pleasure to be here, and it's a pleasure to see all of you here. It's really a joy to get here and talk about the work the nonprofits are doing in our wonderful county. First thing I'd like to do is just tell you who the members of the grants committee are. And I'll call them out: Raj Bradford, Paul Childress, Roger Dick, Leon Frederick, Bill Grigg, David Grigg, Jerry Jordan, Colin Keith, John Louder, Judy Pierce, Chris Poplin, Marshall Rogers, Ed Shimpock, and Mike Snyder. So we had a large committee with a lot of work. It's not easy to narrow down because there are a lot of needs in the county, and it's quite a process to go through. It used to be a paper and pencil process. Now it's a very sophisticated online process that helps us narrow down where we think the funds should go. And so I'm deeply grateful to those members of the committee for the work they've done. As Chris mentioned, over the years since inception, the foundation has awarded more than $520,000 to 54 organizations supporting 187 projects and programs. This year, as Chris mentioned, we're awarding over $65,000 to 18 outstanding organizations. We wish that we had more money to award, and hopefully, as we grow, we will have, because it's been the growth in the last couple of years has been really dramatic. We're really proud of that. So what I'd like to do now is just call out each grant and who should be representing that organization here. If you'd come up, I'll give you a certificate representing that grant. And if you just say a few words about your organization and the grant and how you're using it, it'd be appreciated. So first is Bridge to Recovery was awarded $3,000 to support transportation needs for its transitional house program in Stanley County, and Trina Norwood is here to accept. Trina?
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Appreciate
Step
it.
right up there.
Hey, everybody. I'm so lucky you chose me to go first. So I am privileged to work with the Bridge to Recovery, and for those of you that are not familiar with the work that the Bridge does, it started almost 7 years ago in Stanley County, and our first initiative was to provide a bridge for treatment for people leaving detox, waiting on a bed, and needing someplace safe to stay until they could go to treatment. And we started a house in Oakboro, and that was specifically for men. And shortly after that, we had requests for women. Started a house in Stanfield for women. So imagine you have a close friend or family member, a neighbor, maybe a daughter or son, and they go into a detox center, and there's little to no money for them to go to a treatment center. The waiting lists are extensive. Okay, so what we would do is drive for the transportation grant and go pick them up from whatever detox center they were across the state and bring them back to a safe, sober place where we could give them food, shelter, give them hope, give them some peace, and just to keep them safe until their treatment bed was open. Initially, that was 1 to 2 weeks. We had one gentleman stay with us for several months until he had an opportunity to go to a long-term treatment center. On occasion, we'll also provide case management where if they don't have a plan, they just need somewhere to go because their situation's not safe, they can come stay with us and we will find a place for them to go that's reputable. And then we will take them there and make sure they get to where they're going without having to rely on friends or family that might be not get them where they need to go. So we're so grateful for your support from the community and from the foundation to allow us to do the work that we do. And one of the newest things that we have done is opened up in Union County a 28-day residential treatment center for men because, like the one gentleman, people stay with us for so long. They really need somewhere to go, and so that has been a huge success. But annually, we serve about 250 people each year between our Oakboro and Stanfield houses, and in the Union County Center this year, we served 100 people. So thank you so much for having us. We're very grateful.
Thank you, Trina. Next, Charlotte Symphony was awarded $2,500 to bring a free community concert to Stanley County this fall. And Michelle Hamilton is here. Michelle?
Thank you very much.
Here's your certificate.
Thank you. Thank you. Something to add to my wall in my office. I bring you greetings from Maestro Christopher Warren Green and the 58 full-time musicians who make up the Charlotte Symphony. Your Charlotte Symphony is dedicated to supporting and strengthening our community through exceptional musical experiences. And those experiences don't just happen in the Belk Theater at the Blumenthal, downtown Charlotte, on a Friday and Saturday. They are happening in senior centers and community centers and schools across the region. This year, we will be in 6 counties outside of Mecklenburg County, including a September concert here in Stanley County, thanks to the foundation, where 700 people enjoyed a great night of classical music right here at home. So thank you for making this possible for us and for the residents of Stanley County.
Thank you. Next, Crisis Assistance Fund of Stanley County was awarded $3,000 for bed bug extermination for families in need, and Debbie Johnson and Finley Sutton are here to accept that award.
Well, I get the most grimaces, bed bugs. What can I say? For those of you that might not be familiar with Crisis Assistance Fund, we primarily fund families that are in crisis and they are in danger of being evicted from their homes or their homes going into foreclosure. And we try to provide assistance to get them through that time and to keep them and their families in their homes. With our primary funding from United Way, our bylaws indicate exactly what that money must be used for. But we get many other requests. So we also take donations and we have fundraisers throughout the year. And one of the things we found out about 2 years ago, we started getting many requests to help families get their homes exterminated because of bed bugs. This is not a cheap process. It costs a minimum of $1,000 to do this. So a family in crisis at a poverty level cannot afford to do this. So we would beg, borrow, and steal almost to find these funds that we could come up with to help these families. So we appreciate so very much the foundation's help with this as we help families in this county as they go through a really difficult time. Thank you so much.
Next is GHA Autism Supports was awarded $6,000 for the development of Morrow Valley Farmstead. Beth Oliveri is here to accept the award. Might be giving out the wrong ones. I'll find it. I might have given the wrong one out. Not sure.
That's fine. Thank you. It's nice to be here this afternoon. I'm pleased to accept the grant. Oh, thank you very much. I'm pleased to accept this grant for a new program that GHA has that is called Morrow Valley Farmstead. So we are nearing breaking ground of a 10-bed long-term care facility that's going to be located on 51 acres right off of Morrow Mountain Road. So this new program is going to be a really technology-rich program using a lot of telemedicine and trained medical personnel to serve the aging population with autism. So we learned several years ago when we had to discharge a young man with autism that was diagnosed with Alzheimer's, that in our search to try to find appropriate care for him, we found that really there were no existing programs for aging population with autism. So we decided that, okay, there's no better agency to do that than us. So we've been at this work trying to secure grants for the last few years, and we hope to break ground in the next few months. So our primary goal will be to serve this population through the use of telemedicine and do it at a lower cost than the state of North Carolina, and also to try to do what we can to reduce hospitalizations. For those of you who have loved ones with autism or know someone with autism, obviously transitions are very difficult for this population, and so trying to take them to an emergency room or doctor's visits, things like that can be a really difficult process. So we want to do what we can to try to provide this medical care on site. So we look forward to really making Stanley County proud through this program. As I said, through our search, we couldn't find anything really in the United States or around the globe for that matter. So I think it's going to be a really neat thing to put Stanley County on the map. Thank you to the Grants Committee as well as the board for continuing to support our GHA programs. So thank you.
Next is Girl Scouts Hornets Nest Council was awarded $2,500 to support their GIRL program in Stanley County, and Gail Sims is here to accept that. Trying to just give you one.
I'm sorry? Hi.
Thank
Thank you so much. So let me first say thank you to the board and to the foundation and to the grants committee for awarding us this grant. It's been a few years that you've given this to us, and we would not be able to do the work that we do in the county without it, to be quite honest with you. When most people think of Girl Scouts, they typically think of, you know, what? Cookies, yeah. And that's very important. I assure you the cookies are very important. But it is just one part of the experience that the girls have. The girls have an opportunity to learn how to be leaders, and that's really what Girl Scouts is to teach girls how to have courage and character, and how to create their own destiny, if you will. This program allows us to give support to girls who otherwise wouldn't be able to be Girl Scouts for whatever reason, financial barriers that they may be facing. So on behalf of all of our girls, on behalf of our board and our staff, I'd like to say thank you again. We truly do appreciate all of your support. So thank you.
Next is Homes of Hope, was awarded $5,000 for transitional housing home repair, and Chanda Herms is here to accept that. So Heather Kildy's going to stand in.
Thanks, Art.
Thank you.
On behalf of Homes of Hope and the Board of Homes of Hope, which I am fortunate enough to serve on, we're happy to accept this grant. Thank you very much to the Grants Committee and the board. This grant was for the repair of the upstairs Depot Street house. Homes of Hope has 7 houses that are for transitional housing, moving families from homelessness into planned housing. They do this along with a mentorship program that is very important, and we're in need of mentors, so if you know someone, let me know. Upstairs Depot is an older house that is in Homes of Hope ownership. They've renovated the downstairs and are now working on the upstairs. It is a small duplex that will house 2 families. Upstairs is a 2-bedroom that will house more than likely a single mom with 2 children. As they work their way through the program, 6 months of supported living through homelessness transitions. So thank you very much.
Next is Live Again Ministries, was awarded $2,500 for their TRIBE program, Teaching Relationships in Behavior and Education, and Ronnie Russell is here to accept that. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I looked over that list and I thought, wow, what an elite group of organizations in this county, and what are we doing on it? So we started our organization, probably none of you or most of you don't know much about it, but we started it in 2011 with one thing in mind, and that was to give me something to do in retirement and do some little water projects in Honduras. And our board started saying, well, we can do more than that. I should have fired them all right on the spot. But we started an after-school program for at-risk teens. There are a lot of teens who are at risk. Just recent research has revealed that 1 in 5 students in our schools suffers from some form of mental illness. And we're not talking about just the big ones, schizophrenia or bipolar, but depression, anxiety, the whole gamut. And so it's very difficult for them to make it socially and otherwise. And so we started this program about 5 years ago under the umbrella of another organization. But 2.5 years ago, we developed our own program. An educator on our board wrote a curriculum and developed the program, and it's still in process. Right now, we're in the western part of the county through West Stanley Middle School and High School. We get referrals from the staffs of those schools, but we're already talking to other schools in other parts of the county to expand. We're so thankful for this grant that enables us especially to help with transportation, because we take the kids home. The school bus brings them to our program at Oakborough School, but we take them home. I have in my briefcase some research that we just did. We have an academic piece as well. We started something or purchased a program called Achieve 3000. It helps with literacy, comprehension, and reading levels. And we have some pretty significant, if not remarkable, statistics of how they've improved over from the first quarter to the third quarter of last school year. So thank you very much for this opportunity to participate in this foundation.
Next, Pfeiffer University was awarded $10,000 for a multi-day residential STEM camp for girls, and Dr. Colleen Keith and Caroline Sawyer are here today.
Thank you. And I can assure you, I did recuse myself. I didn't vote for us. Didn't vote for Dawn's project either. But this is a wonderful opportunity for Pfeiffer, because this was a project between Pfeiffer and Stanley Community College. And it was for STEM camps that were going to be held back and forth between both organizations. So it's probably the first time we've really coordinated well. And Caroline is going to tell you all about them.
Yes.
And it's her sister and her brother-in-law. Her brother-in-law works at the community college, and her sister works for Pfeiffer. So that's how this came about. So I'll let Caroline share the story.
Sure. So these funds were able to support specifically an overnight STEM camp for all girls, 25 girls, ages, in grades 7 to 11. And, research continues to show that the STEM field is lacking in female representation and leadership. And it starts at such a young age. I myself am the career services director, and so career development starts at a young age. If you're not exposed when you're young, it's very difficult to become interested and involved, especially when you're looking at those STEM fields where the knowledge builds over time every year. So these girls were able to stay on Pfeiffer's campus, which is a wonderful experience for any child, and also we're able to support two student teacher candidates who took care of the girls, and we should say probably entertained the girls while they were there overnight. And the girls were able to spend time with 3 of our faculty scientists who are females in labs, as well as with a faculty scientist female at Stanley Community College in the lab there. And these activities included microbiology, dissecting, and chemistry. So they really got to see some interesting stuff and get hands-on experience in STEM. They wrote very sweet notes expressing their gratitude and how excited they were to be able to do something so unique and at home in their county. And of course, data was included and showed 95% of the girls showed an increased interest in STEM throughout their experience. There's some other data, all of it very positive. So we thank you so much for the opportunity. Nice.
Next, Ronald McDonald House of Charlotte was awarded $2,500 for housing costs for Stanley families to stay in the Charlotte Ronald McDonald House. Here to accept the certificate is Mana Johnson Gibson.
Thank you. Thank you. Well, back in 1998, I think, Ms. Rogers, I came to Stanley County to work, and that was when the Community Foundation was just being formed. So it was a very exciting time. And then in 2008, I got a calling, or some might call it something else, to go to Charlotte to build a Ronald McDonald House. And so it was very exciting. But, imagine, if you will, if you will, that you get a call And the call is that your child, your grandchild, your niece, your nephew has been taken to the hospital in another town, in another state, or in another country. And so most of us, we'd jump in our car, we'd jump on a bus, we'd jump on a plane, and we'd get there as fast as we can to see what we can do to make things better, to figure out what's going on. And then you arrive in that city and that town and that state and that country, and you figure out, oh my gosh, where am I going to park? I didn't bring a shirt. And oh my gosh, I don't have a toothbrush. That's my big thing. And then somebody tells you about this Ronald McDonald House, and they're going to give a call and send you over there, and they'll take care of all that. And you don't need to worry about a toothbrush. They're going to take care of that for you. And the only thing that you need to worry about is that sick child. And so in the past year, and in the few years that we've been open, which is 7 years now, and we have taken care of all those needs, given that love and support to almost 100 families in Stanley County. And so I thank the board, I thank the foundation, I thank Stanley County for helping us and giving us that support to continue to do that, give that love and support, and help those families in Stanley County that do have, unfortunately, to come to Charlotte for pediatric care. So thank you so much.
Next, Special Olympics of North Carolina was awarded $3,000 for Special Olympics Stanley County sports expansion, and Kathy Odell is here to accept this award. Thank you, Kathy, very much.
As everyone else has said, I feel very honored to be a part of this elite group and see all of the wonderful things that happen in Stanley County because of volunteer organizations and other nonprofits that really pour their heart and soul into what they're doing. All of you, I just applaud all of you for what you do. Special Olympics in Stanley County has been my heart for many, many years. In the last 7 years, we've seen so much expansion. We do golf now, we do bocce, we do a lot of bowling, and we have to go out of the county right now to bowl. So being able to expand our sports is still a wonderful thing. This grant will help us continue to provide uniforms and equipment for athletes that certainly can't afford that many times. Our main fundraiser for Special Olympics has been a polar plunge the last 2 years. So if you guys continue to fund me, I may not call you, but I have your names now. So you know. But thank you so much for all you do and all your support.
Next, Stanley Community Christian Ministry was awarded $5,000 for their Winter Warmth Program. Here to accept the certificate is Heather Kilder. Thank you, Heather. Welcome back.
Thanks.
Hi.
Okay, this one I know what I'm talking about. Hi, I'm Heather Kildy from Stanley Community Christian Ministries. Thank you so much for the opportunity to be here today. I appreciate the money that you've given to the citizens of Stanley County who cannot afford to place heat in their homes this winter. This grant will specifically fund 15 families with bulk fuel, heat, fuel oil, kerosene, propane, and natural gas, so bulk fuel, not metered utilities like electricity. Stanley Community Christian Ministries helps keep families warm every winter. Last winter, we served 557 families. And we're very happy to continue to do so. We will begin heating assistance for winter, December 1st, and we work closely with DSS in order for families to receive those services before they receive services from us. So any partner programs we can attach a family to, we're happy to make referral in order to do that. So we just thank you in advance for keeping some of our most vulnerable families warm this winter.
Next, Stanley Community College Foundation was awarded $5,000 to support their agribusiness technology program. Carmen Nunley and Lena Finney are here to accept this award.
Hello, my name is Elena Finney, and I am the program head of the new Agribusiness Technology program at Stanley Community College. It has been an exciting year for us getting the program off the ground and getting new students involved. We received funding from you guys to buy accessories for our new greenhouse. The greenhouse is going to be a wonderful educational opportunity for students, staff, as well as our community in this area. We're going to use it not only for an educational opportunity, but we are going to work on having a community garden out front of the greenhouse, and even have talked about piloting a program for local community members to start their seeds in our greenhouse and then take them back and plant them in the garden and just kind of make that a great organization tool there for us. But if you have drove by our campus recently, you have not seen the greenhouse up yet. Don't worry, it is on the horizon of being complete. And we are so excited about that, as myself as well as my students. I get asked on the daily, when is the greenhouse going to be done, Miss Finney? And so we're learning a lot about patience there, but we are super excited for the program and for your guys' support. With the money that we received from the grant, we're going to buy accessories that we will need, such as the storage shed, tillers, shovels, just the necessities that you need to run in a greenhouse as well as run in a community garden. We're going to use those during our planting season, during classroom time, and the community will have access to those once we get the community garden up and going. So again, I appreciate your support, and I'm excited for you guys to watch the growth with this as this program grows. As this program grows. Thank you so much.
Yes, next is Stanley County Family YMCA was awarded $5,000 for summer camp scholarships. Here to accept the award is Kelly Biggers, Jennifer McSwain, George Crooker.
Hi, everyone.
Congratulations.
Oh, thank you so much.
Congratulations.
Thank you, sir. We appreciate that. Again, as it said, the heart and the soul and the effort that's in this room is second to none. One of the most beautiful things about living here is this group of people in front of us. Again, my name is George Crooker. I work at the YMCA. I would like to introduce in the back of the crowd to the right my predecessor, Mr. John Louder, who without him, none of us would be here today. To talk about our program, I have our most tenured employee and our newest tenure employee, who talk and act a whole lot better than me to explain what we've used this for in the past.
Thank you. My name is Kelly Bigger, and we brought some pictures of our children. And I want you to know part of our mission statement is to build a healthy spirit, mind, and body for all. So I'm sure if you look at the picture of our children, you may not know that some of these children are on scholarship. But don't you think every single child deserves a fun and a happy summer? It's just a rite of passage. It's just what children should have. We are always grateful for any kind of donations and grants that we get to help children come to camp. But this year, our gratitude goes even deeper. We typically give out about 40 scholarships a summer. This year, we gave out 59. And of course, we always give scholarships to working families who, you know, mom and dad are working hard. They're just not making enough money to get everything done that needs to happen. We have single parents. But this year, I wanted to tell you, we had 7 children come to camp who in the last 3 months had lost a parent. Some were, they lost a parent due to the opioid epidemic, and some were due to car accidents. We were a little bit nervous about those children coming because we did not know how they would be, if they would be ready to have a fun summer, if they would really be sad. But I will tell you, our staff were fabulous. They took those children, they loved them. They came in on Monday a little bit nervous, a little bit shy, but by Tuesday they were smiling, they had new friends, they were working on literacy so they didn't fall back during the summer. They got to go on field trips that they would have never gotten to go on. Another child that we had, she has been with a guardian for several years. The guardian is a single young woman in her 20s. She is saving every penny so that she can adopt this little girl. And so she is the little girl's going into kindergarten, and her mom did not want her to go to daycare. She wanted her to be in a camp experience so she could have friends. She could get ready for school. She could learn some literacy skills. And I will tell you that on day 10, that little child walked in like she owned the place. So it was amazing to watch her grow and flourish at camp. So because of you, you have allowed us to expand our scholarships and to help those children who truly have been in crisis mode this summer. We appreciate that so much.
And thank you so much. All I have to add is the number part. We had 145 participants in our summer camp, and as Kelly stated, 59 scholarships were awarded, and that was 1/3 of our participants. So it shows how much need, and I'm sure there's more children. So thank you for allowing us to serve those, because those little babies, I've got to experience some of it, and it really helps with grant writing when you see what these children learn. So thank you guys so very much.
Next is Stanley County Partnership for Children was awarded $3,000 for the Raising a Reader program. Here to accept the certificate is Tammy Albertson and Mike Scott. Tammy?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good evening. Again, I'm Tammy Albertson with Stanley County Partnership for Children, and we're excited that we're celebrating our 25th anniversary this year. So we've been in the community for many years and working with children birth through 5 and their families. And this year, we'd like to thank the foundation and the board for their support of our newest literacy program, Raising a Reader. And the Raising a Reader program helps families build a book sharing routine where parents receive research-based information on how to share books with their family. It's not that parents have to know every word in the book or read it a certain way, but it's about sharing the love of books with their children. Research indicates that a love of reading is linked to life success. The National Commission on Reading reported the single most significant factor influencing a child's early educational success is an introduction to books and being read to at home prior to beginning school. So I know Mr. Russell spoke about literacy, Kelly spoke about literacy, so we focus on literacy for the youngest, birth through 5. So we have many literacy programs we provide, and Raising a Reader is one of our newest ones. Children receive a book bag each week with 4 books in the bag where they take it home, they share it. Their parents share with them the books, and then the next week they bring it back to their child care center and they get 4 different books in their book bag and they take it home for a week. So last year we piloted the program in 3 of our NC pre-K classrooms, and with your funding we were able to expand it this year to one of our highest needs centers in the county, where we're serving the whole county, the whole center. So we're serving children birth or infants through 4-year-olds. So that's a new way to serve the center for us this year. So we just want to thank you for your commitment to our county and what you do to help all of the nonprofits. Thank you.
Next is Stanley County Senior Services was awarded $1,300 for exercise equipment for the senior fitness classes. J.C. Boone and Becky Weemhoff are here representing the senior center.
If I will come with me. Thank you, Lord, so much. Thank you.
Thank you, J.C.
Good afternoon. Thank you so much for this opportunity to formally thank the foundation and the board for the money that we received for our exercise program at the senior center. We have been a North Carolina certified senior center of excellence since 2007. And in order to even be certified, any senior center has to offer all three different programs to even be considered. And one of those is fitness and health promotion. So we offer 5 different exercise classes at the senior center. They're taught by a certified instructor, and we average anywhere from 8 or 10 people in one class to 30 or 35 in another class. All of our classes are taught so that anyone with limited ability or with no limitations at all can participate in the class. You can sit in a chair and take an exercise class, or you can stand up. The thing that is different from us and from all these wonderful gyms that are represented here is that we do not charge a fee. Our classes are open to anyone. And as a result, I think people like that. We have seniors that come to our classes, and then they'll leave and go to the Y or to another fitness center that's in the area. We have a lot of participation, and we're thrilled that the numbers have continued to grow. As a result of the popularity of these classes, we have found that we have a need for some equipment. And so with the grant that we got from the foundation, we are purchasing some dumbbells from 2 to 10 pounds, a dumbbell rack to hold the weights, and also some exercise bands, or yoga bands as they call them, and they will be used. In fact, our yoga class is one of our most popular classes. We thank you again for this grant. Our mission is at the senior center is to enhance the quality of life of older adults, and so in doing that, we're providing a wide variety of programs and activities in hopes of making their life as rich as possible. We have anywhere from 80 to 85 people that walk through our door every day. And so when I tell you the number we have in the exercise classes, and they are being attended and are being appreciated. So thank you again to the board. Thank you.
Next, the Million Martha Center for Women and Community Care was awarded $1,920 for the Alphabet of Faith project. Here to accept the certificate is Yana Stugnova and Kim Marshall. Didn't do too good with your name.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much. Good evening. My name is Jana Strukova, and I come to you from the Mary and Martha Center for Women and Community Care. We are a counseling and resource center for women and their families. And I would like to thank you to the generous support of the foundation for helping us fund our program that is a biblically based, story-based approach to group therapy. And in cooperation with Homes of Hope, we are working especially with women who are undergoing rather stressful situations, such as the loss of home, or being in a transitional housing situation, right, where the questions of will I have a roof tomorrow or next week or next month can be a very stressful situation for women to live with. So as a way of perhaps lessening the amount of anxiety and stress, we have developed a biblically based and a narrative-based approach to group therapy when we try to work with the themes of resilience by studying the female characters in the Bible and
correlating it with our everyday stories and experience, and seeing how the faith tradition and the biblical tradition can give us a sense for resilient, less anxious, more hopeful, more empowering approach to everyday challenges. So for that, we are very grateful and thankful to the foundation that continues to support our studies, our fellowship meals with the women. And this year, we have included an art element to our therapy because, as research has documented for many years by now, artistic coordination between brain and hands has been proven to be a very effective tool to lessen anxiety and stress and really refocus brain to more calmness and peacefulness and resilience. And to show you what adventure we have been up to recently, I have invited Miss Kim Marshall to show you some of the creations that we have been doing under the guidance of our art lecturer, and she's going to illustrate a few passages from the Bible.
I won't have you guys look at my whole Bible here, but this is a class that is offered at the Painted Owl that's out in the Midland Locust area. It's Bible journaling. And so we invite women that we help at the center, many of whom are homeless, to come into a class, and we don't charge a fee or anything. We pay the lady that teaches the class, but she does a Bible study to begin with. We study the scripture and how it's going to help us, how it's going to relate to our activities, and then we do a thing where we actually draw in our Bible, but you can still read the words, but you pick out a passage and you pick out a certain word and what it means to you, and it is really rewarding. It is as much about fellowship as anything else. Sitting down with women that perhaps you don't have a single thing in common with, but all of you enjoy doing this, and all of you enjoy reading the Bible and studying, and so we get a lot out of it. We like it. So
Yes,
it's
we
just
do.
a small part of that, but we enjoy it a lot.
Yes, we do.
Thank you.
Thank you so very much for your support.
Next, the Talent Company of Albemarle was awarded $2,500 to support their 2018-2019 season. Rebecca Askew and Henry Thomas are here. Hey, Henry.
So I'm Henry Thomas, and I'm here on behalf of the Talent Company, which is a local youth theater company, which was started back in 2005 by a few thespians that share my same passion for theater. And I want to thank you so much for allowing me to find this outlet of expression, as well as make many lifelong connections and create amazing art. I'm so proud to say that we've expanded from 2 shows per season to 3 shows, and I'm so grateful to have inherited this legacy from the founding members and to share it with a new generation of TC members. And if you guys would like to see this new generation of TC members, please come see Peter Pan Jr. this Friday, Saturday, and Sunday at the Agri Civic Center. And please watch out for our spring show, which is Little Women. Thank you so much.
Next, West Stanley Community Center Foundation was awarded $1,500 to update furnishings for improved health and well-being programs. Here with us are Glenn Mabry and Gail Barbie.
Well, I'm new at this, and I know you're all relieved I'm the last one, and they say the best for last. But we do thank the foundation and all your efforts and service that you do. It's greatly appreciated. And since we are new, I'd like to give you a little bit of history about us. The West Stanley Senior Center Community Foundation that's out in Western Stanley County. It all started with a dream by Wilson Barbie, who was a former mayor and councilman of Locust, the city of Locust. It started back in 2007, and that was a dream. The activity began to get the senior services out in Western Stanley County. And he worked a lot with Becky and other people early in that age stage. After his death in 2010, a small group of West Stanley citizens who had worked alongside of Wilson continued these efforts that he had started. And in 2013, the West Stanley Community Center Foundation was formed to operate and support the senior center there in Western Stanley County. The center opened in Locust Town Center with the generous contributions of a local church and an individual, which we started then. The center has grown due to the hard work of the foundation and the volunteers. In this coming year, we are blessed and grateful that we will be a satellite coming under the Stanley County Senior Center. There's a lot of work went through this, and we would like to thank everybody for that. And it will be operating as a satellite with the management and operations by the Y. And I was going to call up George Crooker, if he wants to come up here, he can, that would tell you what's going to happen with this grant, which we are grateful for, to improve the services and the facilities that we are in, which we've been doing for the last 5 years with the help of a lot of people. But we serve a lot of people, as Becky has said earlier, what she does here in Abermont. There are many out there, and just as a highlight, being a father and a grandfather and a great-grandfather, we hadn't been on the end of too much receiving. You know, you're always giving, because that's what grandchildren and children come for. So it is a great privilege to receive this grant, and we do hope to honor you with it. And this is Miss Gail Barbie, which is Wilson's widow, and she did a lot of hard work. So I'm going to turn it over to Brother George, who's going to tell you the miracles he's going to perform.
No pressure there. No, we're just excited about it. It's getting together with the YMCA under the tutelage of Ms. Weemhoff and the county. And I don't think Mr. Mabry and Ms. Gale have given themselves too much credit. They have scraped, begged, borrowed, done just about everything to keep this center open themselves. Hopefully, with Becky on our side, we're going to give them as much help as we can, and we're going to be a first-class center that you'll be proud of, I promise you. Right now, for the next month or so, we've been there a whole week, so we're learning. And we're learning a lot. Miss Kelly Bigger, the wonderful Kelly Bigger, is in charge of the show out there. And she's been giggling every night coming home. I get a senior story. So it's been wonderful. We're doing most right now. We're just watching and looking and listening. And again, we have a lot of good things planned. The part of these funds, along with some of the funds that we have gotten from the county, are going to be used for upgrades in the center. We're just not quite sure what yet. We're going to learn to crawl before we learn to run. So we appreciate your help, and again, thank you. Thank you guys for everything.
George, you took all my notes with you.
Hello,
Okay. Thank you to for being here. The nonprofits and your volunteers and your boards are heroes in Stanley County. And all the other nonprofits that are not represented here are the same. I mean, that really is, the nonprofits are one of our biggest assets. Couldn't be prouder than to be associated with you, and we thank you very much. Now I want to turn the program back over to Chris Poppin. She's going to close it out.
Wrap it up. Yeah. Well, Art stole my last few comments right there at the very end. But no, this was incredible listening to all of you. It's a great reminder of why it's not only the favorite event, but I think probably the best event. I mean, just sitting here listening to all of you guys is pretty impressive, by the way. But we appreciate you taking the time to be with us this afternoon. We appreciate the support that you have given to your foundation here in Stanley County. And if you have any questions about the foundation, what it's about, what it does, grab any of the board members. Be glad to give you more detail such that we can. And have one final request, and with this group, we're going to meet and have a picture made somewhere. I'm not sure, right here in this corner. Kendall's telling me right here in this corner, we're all going to gather to have one photo op over here, if that's okay. But again, thank you very much for being here tonight, and we appreciate your commitment to Stanley County. Thank you all.